What's up, you guys?
Hi.
Welcome to Hey Grill Hey. I'm Susie. This is Todd. Today we are coming at you from a KCBS barbecue competition in Kanab, Utah, the Western Legends Festival, because we want to bring you our 5 best barbecue tips from beginners. There's no better place to get barbecue tips than from the pros. So we're going into the comp, meeting up with some of our very best barbecue friends, and we're bringing you their best tips for barbecue beginners. Ready?
For beginners.
For beginners.
From
the pros. Let's do it. All right, you guys, first up we have Rusty Monson, the Rusty Monson.
Hello.
He is one of the co-hosts of the Pitmaster podcast, which we have been on. So that's an episode you need to check out.
And BBQ award-winning.
And BBQ award-winning Pitmaster podcast. So check that out. He's also the head cook for the Salt City Barbecue Competition team, and he's coming up with the first tip for you backyard barbecue beginners. Take it away.
So the first thing I learned is everyone's going to tell you to take a brisket to 202. They're going to tell you to take your X to whatever. You need to use that as a guide. So if I'm doing a brisket and I'm going to cook to 202, I'm not cooking at 202. I'm getting it to 202 so I can start tendering it. What you want to do is grab your Thermapen and get some room temperature butter, stick it in the butter, and then stick it in your brisket. When they feel the same, they're done. That could be 202 to 220, anywhere in between, depending on the brisket that you're cooking. You want to go off of feel. Well, you want to get to that as soon as you possibly can. So with pork, for example, a lot of people used to tell me 195. That's a good base. But you want to same thing, butter in, and when that thing just slides right in, it's done. It's going to pull apart. It's going to be super easy to pull, get into little tiny shards, all that stuff. Chicken, that's a little different. You want to cook to 165. We do cook to 197 in a competition setting, so try that.
That is insane.
And we keep the fat on. What that does is our fat will actually stay on, and that fat will render around 195. And when that fat gets down, it's just a nice juicy, just the juice, you know. So that's what I would do, is just go off that and start just feeling your meat, and with the probes. And that's, I mean, some people literally get to the point where after that you're just picking it up and you're moving your fingers underneath it,
So there's your tip, you guys. Use temperature as a guideline. But when you're ready to take it to the next level, shoot for that feel factor. You want the moisture, the juiciness, and the tenderness to speak to
melts
you.
in your mouth.
Thanks, Rusty.
You're welcome.
Hey, cool guy, what do you think? What do you think? What do you got?
It is so good.
Yeah?
All right, you guys, I'm here for tip number 2 with the Christie Vanover from Girls Can Grill, award-winning pitmaster. She's won lots of things, actually, and she's a great competition barbecue cook. You can see her barbecue competitions throughout the West in her signature orange everywhere, beautiful orange smokers. Girls Can Grill. She says what we're all about. So what is your tip for beginning barbecuers?
My tip for beginning barbecuers is think about your flavor. You want to start with a really good rub, and you want to start your seasoning, and that's going to help you build a really nice spark. But don't be afraid to season it afterwards as well. I always season it, smoke it, then I usually do a little bit of sauce. Sometimes I use the jus or the mop that's in there, but always taste it, especially at competition, because that's a big factor. So today, when I was cooking my pork, I had to add a little bit of salt. For some reason, it was just lacking a little bit of salt, so added a little bit of that. And I also like to use a finishing dust, which is where I just take my regular rub and grind it up so it's nice and fine, and it gives that little kiss right at the end.
Pop at the end. I think that's really important to think about layers of flavor, and that's something we do all the time. Even just the most simple pulled pork at home, I usually hit it with a little bit more rub at the end, because it makes all those flavors you put on at the beginning like really pop.
Yep, it just brings out that whole essence of it, everything that you've been layering and building. So yeah,
you guys are gonna have the best beginner barbecue of anyone I've ever known. Awesome tip. Thanks, Christy.
Yeah, thanks. Fun times.
What's up, you guys? Tip number 3 is coming at you from Phil the Grill. You might recognize him from Barbecue Brawl, or maybe his amazing restaurant in Phoenix, Trapp House Barbecue. Phil is one of my good friends. We competed on Barbecue Brawl together.
Yep.
And he has tip number 3 for you.
Always keep a clean grill. One of the things that I do is make sure I preheat the grill at a high temperature to kill all the bacteria before I put any food on. Then oil it down and put your food on after that.
I love it. And just to show you how much of a boss is, I literally stopped Phil in his car on the way out of the barbecue competition.
That's right. That's how you do it.
Because you need to hear from Phil, because he is the absolute best. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
I love you.
Hey, grill, hey!
So good to see you. All right, you guys, tip number 4 coming at you from Mike, Smokin Brethren, barbecue team. And the reason that we picked Mike is because we just talked to them. They're from Utah like we are, so we're connected. But he started in the backyard barbecue scene before he ever jumped into the competition barbecue scene, which I think a lot of people, but he's got a great tip for you beginner barbecuers.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for me and then the rest of my team really is, you know, we started on just a little guy just like this, learning how to cook ribs and chicken, and that's all you got to cook for backyard. Money-wise, it's pretty inexpensive, maybe a couple $100 at the most. Get yourself little pellet smokers, all you need, nothing crazy. If you come walk around the pros, you see these big, huge rigs that are $1,000, thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's ridiculous. But start with chicken and ribs, get something that you feel comfortable with. And it's all about just cooking the temperature. My favorite little tool is this guy right here. It's the ThermoWorks ThermoPen. It'll tell you exactly how hot something is really fast. It is currently 97 degrees in the shade.
It is not cool here.
It is hot.
It is hot here.
It is hot in here.
Dude, I absolutely love that tip because I think a lot of times people who are wanting to get into barbecue come to something like this and are intimidated.
Yep.
They think, oh my gosh, I can't jump on a $2,000 rig. I don't feel confident cooking, you know, brisket or a whole pork shoulder right out the gate. But if you can start with something you do feel comfortable with that's affordable, like chicken or like pork ribs, that is a great gateway and entry point into the world of barbecue, and I think that's an awesome
Absolutely.
tip. Make sure you guys check out Smokin Brethren on Instagram. They even have their own hashtag, Smokin Brethren.
We do.
So if you get started and they helped you like jump the gun into barbecue, give these guys a tag. All right, you guys, fifth and final tip is coming to you from me. Because I'm not a competition barbecue cook, and sometimes coming to these places with these giant rigs and these big beautiful pits can be a little bit intimidating, I want to remind you that barbecue is supposed to be fun. Everything about barbecue, from the way it tastes, the way it smells, and the way that it brings people together, is what we're all in this game for. So whether you have never go on to compete ever, as long as you're cooking great food in your backyard for the people you love and you're having fun, you're doing it right. So those are 5 tips from some of my great friends in the competition barbecue world. I hope you enjoy it. If you did like this video, let me know. Leave a comment, use the hashtag HeyGirlHey when you're cooking any of our recipes. That way we can follow you along and cheer you on your journey to becoming a backyard barbecue hero. See you next time. All right, next up is a bonus barbecue tip from my son, Bennett. What's your barbecue tip?
Make a good steak.
Make a good steak, because his favorite steak. Oh wait, how do you like your steak cooked? Come here. How should people cook their steak?
Medium well.
Cook your steaks to medium rare from Bennett.
Oh yeah, I would too.
Okay, what's your barbecue tip?
My mom is good.
Follow mom's recipes. Is that your tip?
Yeah, that's Adam.
Cook your steaks medium rare and follow my recipes. I love it.
I'm the best brisket, guys. Oh yeah.
It looks so good.
Oh, you're gonna record yourself eating it?
Yep. No, you're gonna record me.
Woo! Who did the ribs? You?
Rusty. Hey, now we're even, man. We got you, right? Now I can sleep better at night instead of waking up at 2 a.m. going ribs.
Yeah, why are you giving us these ribs, Rusty?
Well, because when I was pitmastering over at Bandera, these fine fellows came in to eat some food, and I gave them some food. They paid for said food, and I forgot the ribs, and I felt terrible. Like, I still to this day, it's been several months and I can't sleep about it. So here we are, making up for my mistake
We're square.
by getting some ribs. So
We're
now I
square.
feel better. Now I'm
Awesome.
sleeping better. I already
my
feel
gosh.
better.
These are
awesome.
fantastic.
You like them?
Let me see how the mic sounds.
Alright, listen up. Here's my best barbecue tip. What you gotta do is find a good cut of meat. You gotta trim it. You gotta season it. You gotta slap it and then just smoke it, okay? Okay?
That's for sure going in the video.